Abandoned places capture a sense of timelessness and a feel of people who used to live there. And from some places, you won't even believe they exist. This is one of them. An intriguing post-war time capsule home in France, once occupied by Mr. André and Mrs. Madeleine. Their rich family history, war artifacts and precious antiques are still roaming around as the day of today. We are gonna investigate this puzzling site from a more up-close perspective and take you with us on another quest back in time. Freeze. Stop whatever you're doing and take a deep breath. Don't waste your life. It's time you make some changes. Have you taken down the Demon Lord yet? Crushed the Ice Golem? Ascended the Doom Tower? What about fighting against millions of real players in the arena? Well, now you can get your life in order because it's time to raid. And that brings us to the sponsor of today's video, which is Raid Shadow Legends. Thanks a lot to you, Raid, for sponsoring today's video. And if you've heard of Raid, you know it's got tons of champions, over 600 now. But I want to talk to you about something else for a minute, the bosses. Raid's got an insane variety of badass looking bosses, and I want to give you guys a breakdown of one of my favorites, Sylvania, Guardian of the Spirit Keep. As a boss battle, Sylvania is all about healing. She heals up to half her health every time she gets a turn, and she also deals bonus damage based on how much HP she has left. However, if you have one or two champions that can keep a healing reduction debuff on her, then you've got her number. The only problem is that she can put up a block debuffs buff, so be sure to also bring someone who can remove enemy buffs. That's basically all there is to it. Remove buffs to strip her defenses, put out healing reductions to stop her healing, and then hit her hard and start racking up the rewards. This game reminds me a lot of games I used to play in my childhood. I'm currently in a battle with another tough dungeon boss of Kira Castle. What I really love about this game is the extended storyline in Fantasy World. You can also jump into PvP arena battles or join a clan and challenge a clan boss together as a team. I love to play this game when I'm sitting in the car for hours doing nothing, while I'm just waiting to finally arrive on the next abandoned place. And this month Raids just released a huge new Doom Tower update. There are two huge new bosses to take on, Astronix the Dark Fae and Bommel the Dreadhorn, along with new enemy balance on tower floors, new secret rooms to discover, and most importantly, new artifact sets to win. If that's not enough, the whole month is packed with awesome events and tournaments, including one very special event with a brand new feature, Super Raids. Super Raids let you double up your rewards from hitting dungeons and massively speed up your progress. This is amazing for new players, and if there is ever a time to start playing, it's now, because you don't want to miss this. And if you want an even bigger head start on Raids, all you have to do is hit the link in the video description or scan the QR code right here. New players will get an Epic Hero Shinoru, 200k silver, 1 XP boost, 1 energy refill and 1 ancient shard, so you can summon an awesome champion as soon as you get in game. Look at this cool champion you will get for free. You will find your extra rewards here in your inbox for the next 30 days only. And once you're in, you can find me in game just under the name Explomo, and if you're fast enough you can join my clan. It's that easy. Link in the description and I will see you in the game. Alright, so welcome back everyone. I am so amped because at the time you're watching this, It's actually been 1 month since I explored for the last time. And trust me, that's long for me. That's really long. Of course, you see the uploads twice a week. Currently, we are in a tiny street, so I don't have to catch too much attention, but we are actually making our way to an abandoned house that has remained entirely stagnant in time for decades. It's very impressive as there are still war artifacts inside of the former occupants that lived there. Yeah, I'm gonna put the GoPro a little bit down. As I said, I don't want to be too conspicuous with all the noisy neighbors here, so yeah, see you when we arrive. Always the same. Everywhere in the street are freaking dogs. That was quite challenging night with all the neighbors. Let's remain a little bit silent for a while, but we made our way inside. There we are. Time to explore, guys. I'm excited. Hope you are too. We had been spotted going into the house, and in the meantime, two neighbors had gathered on the street side of the property. So people are talking over there. They were talking about us. They seen that we came inside. I don't know if you can capture it, but there you can see the neighbor talking with the man who maybe is one of the inheritants that's still alive. Maybe they're coming inside, but I don't know yet. I guess we will promptly find out, but I hope we're not in trouble. We're always respectful. We will just remain calm here and just wait. Maybe he will go away again. They're currently having a conversation right in front of the property with the neighbors that's just living on the opposite side. So we have definitely been spotted by people when we went inside, so I don't have a very well gut feeling about this place, but we come here with utmost respect to show you a time capsule. It's been abandoned for more than 2 decades and was once lived in by Mr. Andre and Mrs. Madeleine. It's very intriguing to imagine World War II once passed inside of this home, and still there are plenty of war artifacts, rich family history and beautiful memories left behind. As I said, with utmost respect, I'm gonna document it today, so enjoy watching another crazy adventure and beautiful home here in France that's been abandoned for decades. Gonna put on my mask. Let's not spend too much time inside, and let's start exploring together. So I'm starting this adventure in the main hallway of those people. And we can still see a beautiful antique stove over here. It's rusty, it's been decaying for ages. A tiny bottle, some glasses. You can tell for how long the door has not been opened, because of the plentiful cobwebs everywhere around. People used to hang up their coats right over here on the coat rack. Wow, look over here. We have an umbrella. We even have some very old milk cans. And another beautiful coat rack. A very captivating antique that is again crowded by spider webs. Wow. Alright. So as you can see over here, we can go upstairs to give you a little orientation of this home. On the left side used to be their kitchen. And I'm gonna feature that one first. We still have their dining table in the middle here. And what I haven't told you yet is that Mr. Andre and Mrs. Madeleine also had a son named Vincent. Now Vincent lived there during his youth. He was raised up, and when he grew older he went studying and moved outside the home. He went to Paris for his study. Here is still a very old tin of Danish butter cookies, imported. I want to open this, but there is something else inside. No Danish butter cookies anymore, and I really have to be on my guard that I do not make too much noise. As you can see over here, in a very decaying state, are still their furnaces, their washer, and even a razor and some pots of jam there. I think they also had a cat. Honestly, I'm quite afraid that we will get caught on the first spot of this trip. I'm currently not alone, by the way. I'm accompanied by a friend from my local city named Sarah, that you've maybe seen in some of the Sweden series, if they are online already. I love this antique French clock. It's so captivating. And then, right in front of me over there, is the very most fascinating room. You're gonna be absolutely blown away by its intriguing beauty. Oh my gosh. This is so unreal. Entirely frozen in time for over 2 decades. The cupboard in the corner is entirely skewed. It's near to collapse. And all the precious wooden furniture is just withering away. I cannot get my mind straight around it. Even still, all the upholstery chairs are positioned right around the table. The massive wooden table in the middle here. And just look on the wooden carvings. They are absolutely mesmerizing. There is still plenty of paperwork on the ground as well, but I'm not gonna point it out in order to protect this place from any wrong intentioned people. Wow, have a look at this. We have a gorgeous oil painting, a gorgeous one. As you can see, this is somewhere at the sea. There are a lot of sailing ships. Over here it's just an entire trap for mutts and bugs, because the cobwebs, they're just stuck inside, never came out, and they've been there forever and ever. Dang, have a look at this. Now this wooden cabinet is absolutely gorgeous. Its carvings are amazing. I'm absolutely awestruck by this one, to be honest. What's this even, like these jugs? Wow. There's nothing inside anymore. No liquid. Guys, we just opened a time capsule, a portal, a gate back to decades and decades ago. And as you can see, everything is still left behind where it once was. When people lived there and World War II actually happened and took place. Oh my gosh. Wow. This is unbelievable. Their entire crystal collection is still inside. Everything. I have to be very careful because I'm afraid it's gonna collapse. I'm gonna leave it like this because, as you can hear, there's a very squeaky sound. And then on the ground over here we have some purses. We still have some old newspapers over here as well. Dating from 1964. Wow. Look at the old secretary desk. Another purse is hanging right over here on this chair. And then right over here are the truly historic war artifacts I just talked about in the introduction. Over there is even the name of one of the former owners who actually was a Republican, and I think he actually fought in the war, or at least the person maybe was related to this family. He was the national president of a federation in the army, and this tile is actually in remembrance of him. In remembrance of him. Imagine that. Precious artwork and history are just entirely left forgotten about inside of this home. It's hard to imagine, but it's actually the truth. And I think I've heard a rat or a mouse somewhere. So yeah, don't be surprised if that one pops up all of a sudden. Beautiful baby picture there, and have a look over here. We still have a lot of old encyclopedias and books about physics and everything behind this grid in the bookshelf. It's absolutely amazing. Even still a part of a very vintage radio. But most of it is damaged. Despite the lack of time and the importance to be as discreet as possible in this place, I'm trying to go through everything carefully and nice and slowly. Wow. It's absolutely mind-boggling. Not even gonna touch this one anymore because I will destroy it. I know you love to see the inside of drawers and doors, but I also have to think about protecting the integrity of all this precious furniture, even when it's in a decaying state. Now behind this door is actually a toilet, but the door is entirely stuck. But that toilet used to be right over here, and it's full of garbage. And one of the most fascinating things, apart from the war relics we found, is for me personally this lamp in the middle. Looks like a truly valuable Art Deco lamp. Look at the angel statues even. And only to imagine the dusty cobwebs in between them in this neat collecting state is a shame. It's really a shame. I'm in love with this very antique and old lamp. It's gorgeous. Wow. So we are continuing through this magical time capsule house. And it's time to make our way to the upstairs level. Now, one thing I haven't told you yet about this house is that the rumors go that Mrs. Madeleine actually lost her 2 legs. She became disabled and she actually had protheses that are still laying in the home. But at a medical point of view, I am still quite doubting if that's the truth, because it more looks like she became disabled because of an accident and had to recover and actually had like braces. And you're gonna see one other strange thing, but that's about to follow. Just keep watching this video and you will promptly find out what I was talking about. So yeah, this wooden staircase is in a very bad condition. It's rotting here and there. It will probably not last long until the next explorer is inside of this home and will just crack through it and it will collapse. It's sad to see. The windows are smashed there and just widely opened. Rainwater is easily coming inside. And due to the high humidity, this home will eventually only decay more and more. Okay, so I just entered the room I was talking about. And as you can see over here, the rumors about Mrs. Madeleine losing her leg, I'm still doubting about it. Now those are the very old-fashioned braces I just talked about. But the strange thing is, they are both from the right side of their leg and foot. So maybe she just had an accident, had to recover, and only used it for one side. Or she actually had 2 in her life, and one was the old one, and one was the most recent one she used. Look at it. Yeah, very interesting. Just come closer and show it to them. Just come. It's amazing. By the way, as I said, Sarah is helping me out with filming today. Look at this. It's very captivating, especially from a medical point of view. But as you can see, they are both from the same side of their feet, the right side. They're still even stuffed over here, but this material over here is like, yeah, in Dutch we say gips. I will leave the translation down right now, so you know what I'm talking about, but it's so interesting. I'm gonna put them back where I found them. And yeah, because the window was opened here, I decided to put off my mask for a while. But I will do it on again, because then you can hear me better than without. So look at these interesting braces, or whatever I have to call them. There are rumors that she actually lost her 2 legs, but as I said, I'm highly doubting if that's the truth. And right over here we are in another fascinating bedroom. The beds are relatively tiny if you imagine that 2 people live there together with a son. And also over here it's just in a terribly decaying state. Look over here. Very old bronze or copper or iron statue. Still some very old perfume and eau de cologne. My gosh. Some of these things are dating back to the Victorian times. We have another very antique furnace stove over here. These beautiful tiles. An old baby picture. The stuff that's left behind inside is so extremely interesting, especially when you love history and learning about past generations as much as I do. Now let's look in the treasure chest. Are we finally gonna find gold? The answer is no, but wow! It's still filled with shoes. Leather shoes, that's unexpected. So cool. But maybe also sad if it's really true that she lost 1 or both legs. There was a day that this was the last time she actually used to wear them. Now let's check out this door over here. Oh, this is actually kind of a walk-in closet. You can still see some coats hanging up. And again, a great amount of dusty black cobwebs. This over here was definitely a bedpan. And there was another more tiny one right over here. These sort of buckets were used to collect their droppings. Right over there in the middle, there is still a spider just tangling around. Cannot even focus it, but you can probably imagine what it looks like. And have a look at the painting over there on the wall. It's possible that this is actually in the local village where the house is located too, and it looks so traditional and Burgundic. It's a very quaint and peaceful area here. You can hear the birds chirping in the background. It's very silent and tranquil here, but it also makes it dodgy because once they hear an English person, or at least a person talking in English, in such a small town in France, in a street with that many neighbors, they start having their suspicions. So yeah, without further ado, let's show you the other bedroom right next door, the attic. And then you've seen everything. My camera bag is over here. In case we have to run away, we can grab it and get the heck out. Of course, we are not here with any criminal intentions, but what we are doing is, in means of law, illegal. But we are always venturing away inside, not only for our own experiences, but also for all of you. And then the last, very last bedroom on this floor is this one. And what I particularly love about this room is not only a very unique wooden bed, but especially the personal picture right on the wall and this huge but impressive painting. They look like nomads or something in the desert with carriages and horses. Absolutely detailed painting. Curious if it's famous or there is only one piece of it. It definitely looks valuable, and it's sad that it's just rotting away here. But there are more paintings beside that big one. And there is other things to find as well. A tiny alarm clock. Adorable. This is empty, but maybe it was for a cigar or something. Empty as well. Maybe for some sewing tools one day. And this is, I think it's a med kit, but I'm not sure. Okay, yeah, some very old medicine. I want to check this out. Old potions and medicine are still inside. Some are even from the laboratory. Wow. This is so interesting. Genuinely interesting. But I cannot open it. Let's see what's inside. Trinitrine. Maybe it was for high blood pressure, or saying something with caffeine from a local laboratory. Wow, there's even more. These very vintage bottles of potion. And some other medicines too. Some are entirely digested by the insects that made their way inside one day. If you thought you found everything, you keep on finding new stuff, discovering beautiful details, and yeah, it's just a unique experience to witness such a place in person. A lot of mold over there. Beautiful mirror here. Wow, with again beautiful carvings and ornate details. Even still old files. This is from their car d'immatriculation. It has to do something with their license card or plate. Fireplace with a net in front. Wow. All these towels and laces are still inside, but they're covered within a large layer of dust. And then there is the portrait I was talking about. Would this be Mr. Andre? Or was it one of the family ancestors? Unfortunately, I cannot give you the right answer to that question. But maybe one of the family inheritance, if they still exist, are watching this video. And I genuinely hope you're not angry that I entered, but I just want to give this truly historic property and rich family history the recognition it deserves. Look, there is another bedpan as well. Even still some needles and other medical things inside of there. Wow. They're like old balls that were used for a game. Maybe for tennis even. glasses. Oh, this was definitely from the woman. Some underwear. It's absolutely interesting that there are still so many tiny this and that's and knickknacks left behind on top of all the rich antiques. Now finally I'm making my way to the last floor, which is the attic. Let's see, this looks like one of the most modern newspapers I've seen so far. 1996. That's 2 years before I was born. That means the place is abandoned for a rough 24 years. So my estimation was right. And it's also obvious, because the state of decay is very advanced, for sure. Still a broom there, entirely covered in cobwebs. I definitely have to wash my head here. Even roos are growing through the roof panels. I'm happily wearing a mask, because you can only imagine that there is also a lot of asbestos on this floor. There is even an old iron bed. And I even see a bicycle over there. Let's see if I can get a little bit closer. I'm already covered in cobwebs anyway. Over there. Another bed over here. Those once used to be 2 other beds, used as a bedroom, maybe when you had guests, friends or visitors coming over. Alright, it's quite hard to move myself. I also do not want to make too much noise. I'm talking quite silently, as you can probably hear through my voice. But I'm at least happy that I now got the chance to film the essence of this home. Even still a bird's cage over here. That's so cool, a very vintage one. Plenty of old wooden chairs over here. Wow, oh wow. What a place, guys. What a place. So yeah, with that having said, I want to close this incredible adventure right over here, I think. I have to say I thoroughly enjoyed it. And yeah, maybe that's even... Sorry, wait a second. I don't want to demolish the bird's cage. But maybe enjoying is even an understatement, because this home for me was a 10 out of 10. Precious family history, hardly any vandalism, entirely well preserved for over 2 decades. That is unbelievable and very rare to encounter. All I want to ask you for is, yeah, if you enjoyed this video, you can just support us. Just smash the thumbs up button. It's a small thing, but it would help a lot. And yeah, feel always free to subscribe to our channel if you like our videos, and yeah, leave a nice comment down below. I might have not the time to reply to every single one of the comments, but I read all of them and I appreciate them greatly and greatly. It's always great to hear from you. And in the end, as I said, a profound thank you for watching, and as I always say, we will see you on the next adventure.
Peace out.